Good afternoon, Fantasy Bay. Mike Williams here with another Week 7 game preview. And today we're going to be going over the Texans versus the Colts. Let's get it started. All right, we're going to start off with the over-under, which is 46.5 points. And the spread is -1 for the Colts, which is kind of surprising for me. All right. Deshaun Watson has been on fire these last couple weeks. 51 points 2 weeks ago, 31 points last week, averaging 300 passing yards and 31 fantasy points. That 52 really ups the averages, you know? When you're throwing for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, your averages seem to go up a little bit. But, I actually think he's going to play great. Start him. He has 10 rushing attempts for 42 yards last week. That's crazy. He's averaging 30 rushing yards a game, 6 attempts. He's a beast. Fire him up. DeAndre Hopkins has not been playing up to everyone's expectations, but let's not act like he's playing like absolutely garbage, especially these last couple weeks. He had 15 fantasy points 2 weeks ago. Last week he had 16. The targets are still there. Trust the process. You're starting DeAndre Hopkins, and I still think that you should be trying to go out there and grab him. His schedule doesn't scare you like Odell's does. I don't have a problem with you trying to go get DeAndre Hopkins. And if you have him, start him every week, obviously. Will Fuller. A lot of people are jumping off the Will Fuller bandwagon. Not this guy. Not this guy. No sirree, Bob. Will Fuller easily could have 3 touchdowns last week. One, he was being held and he didn't get cut. He didn't get called. The guy was pulling his shirt as he was trying to get a touchdown. The second one hit him right in the hands when he was falling down. He dropped it. And then the third one, he just dropped. He had a chance for 3 touchdowns last week. I am firing him up. I think that Will Fuller is still a top 20 play, preferably top 15 for me. I think he's going to have a great game. All right, let's get down to Carlos Hyde. So Carlos Hyde had a fantastic game. 18 fantasy points, 1 reception from 1 target, but he also had 26 carries. 26 carries for 116 yards and a touchdown. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I only have one problem with Carlos Hyde. That man's undershirt. Why does he have an undershirt that stretches like 12 feet far? Like, it doesn't make any sense. His undershirt cost him at least 5 breakaway tackles. It was unbelievable. You need to either tuck in or change your undershirt because this is absolutely ridiculous. It's actually affecting your running. Seriously, change your damn undershirt. Duke Johnson had a pretty decent game. 2 receptions off of 4 targets for 20 yards and a touchdown. 5 rushes for 34 yards. It's efficient. You like to see that. Both the tight ends are playing okay. They're pretty up in the air which one's going to be great each week. So if you're throwing a flyer, Fells is good. I like him. And if worse comes to worse, you can play Aiken too. And if you're desperate. All right. Now let's get over to the Colts. 1 second. That's weird. All right, let's just change that. All right, here we go. Colts. So they had a bye last week. Jacoby Brissett didn't have a great game last week, but week 4 and week 3, 27 fantasy points, 24 fantasy points. I think he has a decent week this week against the Texans. They allow the 10th most fantasy points to quarterbacks at 20. I'd be solid with 20 fantasy points from Jacoby Brissett. T.Y. Hilton should be back, so I think that he should be a good play as well. You can definitely throw on the Texans. They rank 8th against the wide receiver, allowing 27 fantasy points a game. And let's get down to the running backs. So the Texans are pretty decent against the run. So you don't have to play the backups like Hines and whoever the hell else. Oh, Hines and Wilkins. But if Marlon Mack plays, I think that you should play him. He's a beast on the ground. He's proven that he can play. sometimes you just got to throw your players in knowing that they can perform. So I play him. The last game he played, he had 29 rushes for 132 yards. You play a player like that. Not playing either of the other running backs, though, personally. And the tight ends are just like the Texans. They're flyers. They're up in the air. Looking for touchdown upside. That's about it. All right. If you have any questions, hit me up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Mike Williams, Fantasy Bay. It was good talking to you. I'm out.